I received a comment that was so polarizing to me, I had to make a video about it. Sampling is plagiarism, and nobody can convince me otherwise. I'll take it from here, guys. The mentality behind the comment I just read is crazy to me. I know sampling can be a bit divisive, with some having more alterations than others, but this negative view of the production style is just something I can't really get behind. Not saying this person isn't entitled to their own opinion, they absolutely are. I'm just entitled to shit all over it. And if you have a similar point of view presented, please keep it civil in the comment section. It's all good fun. No one's mad. I'm not mad. I'm not going to go into the whole history of sampling. I assume the time period is current, the one that our friend is referring to. The reason sampling exists in its incarnation we see today is because hip-hop producers back in the day couldn't necessarily afford instruments to make music, so they used what they had, vinyl records, which is where you get sampling from. But this isn't a video about sampling history. That's for a Middle 8 or, I don't know, ARTV. I think he does that. No. I just love a good sample. Sue me. That's funny. It's funny because that's actually what they do. I think it adds something to a track. Sometimes it's not even audible. If I don't know what I'm listening to contains a sample, and then I later found out that it has a sample, I give that track a little fist bump, like, yeah, you cool. It's just fun. Artists taking existing work and manipulating it to fit their own vision, and create something new out of the old in the process. Even if some people say otherwise. Even though I'm a strong advocate for sampler protection and the destigmatization around it, I'm not gonna lie, there's a little charm behind the pirate-like nature of a good illegal sample. Especially when the artist doesn't have billions of dollars to clear it in the first place. Danny Brown has historically went on record saying that Atrocity Exhibition cost him $70,000 in samples, and the record label only gave him $100,000 to make the album, so he's in the red. That's probably why I did the collab with JPEG Mafia.
I would delete Atrocity Exhibition Heartbeat. I spent $70,000 in samples and the motherfucker sold $7,000 the first week. But that's my first time, man. That was like, man, the record label, they gave me a budget. That's my first time ever working with an album with a budget. You know, they gave me $100,000 and I'm like, nigga, I'm going to go crazy. I ain't about to go cheap out. Now, I didn't know the samples were going to get up to that high. And then I still, because I went over the budget, I spent $50,000 on mixing and mastering. You get what I'm saying? So I'm definitely still in the red with that album. And
I actually wrote a paper about how to fix sampling and copyright law in my sophomore year of college. Maybe one of those days I'll turn into a video instead of letting it, rot on a hard drive, so get hyped for that, guys. Wrapping on a tight little bow. Sample good. I, like most people, have a list in my brain that I go through every so often, where it's a list of my favorite samples used in current music that I listen to today. So in honor of the comment I showed you today, this video is going to be about my favorite samples in music. I got a lot more in the chamber up there, so if you guys enjoy it, please let me know. And let me know what your favorite samples are in the comment section below. I don't know, something about hearing other people's favorite samples and then me search out the samples to see how the artist changed it just gets me all giddy and excited about music. But not nearly as giddy and excited as when I get to wear merch from catchingbigfish.store. Beautiful apparel, designed, sourced, and printed by me. catchingbigfish.store. Buy it. So I just blacked out there for a second, my bad. Scaring the Hose by JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown. The song that officially sparked this idea in my brain, because every time I listen to a new JPEG Mafia released, I just think it's like, damn, he does not miss. He does not miss. The song samples a Dirty Beaches video, untitled, Takeaway Show. Dirty Beaches has some bangers, I will say. I Dream of Neon is a slapper, but we aren't even talking about an official song here. It's a video on Pitchfork of the titular Dirty Beaches clapping along to a street saxophone. By the way, if you're watching this on the main channel, there's probably just a cut there or something. But on Patreon, I actually play the song and the sample that it's from, so you don't have to go out and source it yourself. So please consider supporting the Patreon with $5 a month. That is all. Join the production team, $5 a month. Thank you. Yeah, I love this sample, because just the straight creativity oozing from the mind of JPEG Mafia, like watching this video and saying, yeah, I can make a banger out of that. Not to mention JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown just flow over this instrumentation like butter, even though the instruments added is just bass and drums. It just changes the track into something completely insane, and future Jake is probably gonna be very mad at this take, but I think it's JPEG Mafia's best song, and by default, Danny Brown's. R.I.P. by Death's Dynamic Shroud, a standout from Faith and Persona for me, and it was Baby's first DDS. Off their little pirate mixtape series where they just sample like no one's business. The song sampled Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License. Yeah, some real Shiver Me Timbers pirate shit. But it distorts, bends, and warps her vocals, and there's something barely recognizable from the original. This actually brings up a nice example of the spectrumization for, I just made up that word, for spectrumization of sampling. JPEG Mafia didn't really change the sample all that much, just added some stuff, whereas DDS completely changed everything about the original sample. But I fall in the middle. If it slaps, it slaps. What can I say? So go listen to the song quick before Olivia Rodrigo's lawyers smell that shit, and it is game over. Superman That by Injury Reserve. Friend of the channel. Such good friends with the song, actually. I made a whole video about the album it's connected to, creating a new genre. The song samples Black Country New Road song Athens, France, and like Death's Dynamic Shroud, they just skullfuck the sample. If my visual representation for enjoyable experimentation is a cup of water, you know when you pour a cup of water like so much, like it's got that little bit of surface tension where it's like just going over, but like the water's still in the cup and it hasn't broken the sides? That is this song. That's the perfect way to describe it for me. Almost too much, but awesome. The song actually has a really cool and rare origin story because we get to hear Parker Corey sample the thing live at an Injury Reserve show in Stockholm. If you're watching on Patreon, sit tight, you'll see it in a second, but if you're on the main channel, I highly recommend sourcing this out because it is crazy. I get goosebumps hearing it live, considering how much I love the song. If Injury Reserve keeps the quality this high and the experimentation this crazy, then no doubt in my mind they're going to go down in hip-hop history. Gagarian by Moses Sumney. A persona that's yet to appear on the channel, even in passing mention, but it's about time because I love Moses Sumney. His vocal stylings and his angelic yet distorted ballads are to die for, and I think my favorite one is Gagarian. The song samples From Gagarian's Point of View by, Esbjorn Svensson Trio? I think I nailed that. I find this special because, according to my research, this is the only sample Moses Sumney has ever used in his discography. Another example of the original sample not changing all that much, but it's all about what's added to it. Moses' angelic vocals, combined with this blown-out synthesizer and background vocals, turn a rather calm ballroom song into an experimental art pop explosion. Moses Sumney is long overdue for a video on the main channel, so take that and run with it. You have time to listen to his entire discography before that video comes out, so I implore you, please do so. And finally, 33 God by Bon Iver. My favorite Bon Iver song, and slowly becoming my favorite song. That's it. Favorite song. Justin Vernon created something special to me with this song and this style of music. This folktronic is just the music to my ears, literally. The song samples quite a lot, actually. Iron Sky by Paolo Nutini, Morning by Jim Ed Brown, It's Your Thing by Cold Grits, All Rendered Truth by Lonnie Hawley, and D Sharp G by Sharon V. Etten. Quite the mouthful, huh? But I love this song and this album because the only sample that's not vocals is the drums. But the rest of the samples is just Justin Vernon manipulating the human voice into something beautifully human, as pre-choruses, shots, and builds. These vocal samples mixed with the frankly beautiful instrumentation just makes this track legendary to me. I implore you to please listen to this. Sampling is just fun to me. It's a risky way to breathe some new life into forgotten or unique songs, turning it into something new and exciting for the now. God, I hope sampling never goes away. But I mean, if you're Drake and you could just afford every single sample to be cleared, then you got nothing to worry about. But I'm not talking about Drake. I'm talking about the Bandcamp boys, the SoundCloud savants. Never stop sampling. It's too much fun, and it adds way too much character to your work. Just don't let them know.